Imagine a place where cobblestone streets wind past lemon trees, where old church bells echo through misty valleys, and where every meal tastes like it was cooked by someone's grandmother. Across Italy, far from tourist lines and postcard cliches, lie small towns that seem almost unreal, quiet, breathtaking, and still deeply alive. These aren't the places you see on travel brochures. They're the ones tucked between vineyards and olive groves, where time feels slower and beauty feels personal. In this video, we'll explore 10 of Italy's most gorgeous towns that only a few people truly know. Towns where art meets nature, where history whispers through stone walls, and where the price of a dream life might be far lower than you'd expect. Number 10. Civita di Bagnoregio, Lazio. Perched on a crumbling hilltop in central Italy, Civita di Bagnoregio is often called the Dying City, but that only adds to its mystery. With fewer than a dozen permanent residents, this medieval village floats above the valley like something out of a fantasy film. A narrow footbridge is the only way in or out. No cars, no traffic, just the sound of wind and church bells. The town dates back more than 2,000 years, yet its beauty feels timeless. Warm tufa stone houses glow gold at sunset. Flowers spill from every balcony, and the view stretches endlessly over the Valle dei Calanchi below. Despite its fragile cliffs, Civita is full of life. Small cafes, guest houses, and local artisans keep the spirit of the village alive. Living here isn't cheap for Italy's countryside, but compared to the big cities, it's a dream. Stone homes start around 250,000 euros, while nearby Bagnoregio offers similar charm for half that price. Rent a small apartment for 700 to 900 euros a month, and you'll wake up every day in a place that looks painted by hand. Civita di Bagnoregio isn't for everyone. Winters are quiet, summers attract a trickle of curious travelers, and there's no nightlife, unless you count wine by candlelight overlooking the valley. But for artists, writers, or anyone searching for silence wrapped in beauty, it's perfection. A town suspended between earth and sky, holding on to time with both hands. Number 9. Dozza, Emilia-Romagna. Just 30 minutes outside Bologna lies Dozza, a tiny medieval town that feels more like an open-air gallery than a place to live. Every wall here tells a story, literally. The village is famous for its Biennale del Muro Dipinto, a festival where artists from around the world paint colorful murals across the town's ancient stone walls. As you walk through its narrow alleys, it feels like stepping inside a living piece of art. Part history, part imagination. But beyond the beauty, Dozza offers something even rarer: genuine livability. It's quiet but not isolated, traditional yet close to one of Italy's most dynamic regions. Life here moves at a painter's pace. Locals greet each other by name. Festivals fill the piazza with laughter, and every corner cafe seems to serve a glass of the region's signature Sangiovese wine. There's art in everything: the food, the architecture, the air itself. And while most tourists rush through for photos, the people who stay find something that's become hard to find anywhere: quiet creativity. Dozza may be small, but it's deeply alive. A town where beauty isn't preserved behind glass, but painted fresh every year on the walls that hold it together. Number 8. Cisternino, Puglia. Down in Italy's sunny south, Cisternino sits high on a hill overlooking the olive fields of the Valle d'Itria, a landscape so perfect it almost doesn't look real. Whitewashed houses, cobbled lanes, and flowering balconies give the town a soft, timeless glow. It's one of those places that makes you wonder how something so beautiful can still feel so untouched. What makes Cisternino special is its sense of community. Life happens in the open here. Neighbors chat from doorways, children play in the piazza, and at night, the scent of grilled meat from local fornelli fills the streets. It's Italy at its most human, simple, generous, and endlessly warm. The cost of living is refreshingly modest. A renovated stone home costs around 180,000 euros, and you can rent a charming apartment for 600 to 800 euros per month. A couple can live comfortably on 1,500 to 1,800 euros monthly, including fresh produce, utilities, and the occasional weekend trip to the nearby beaches of Monopoli or Ostuni. Cisternino isn't flashy. It doesn't try to impress. It just feels right. A town where time slows down, where the sunsets linger a little longer, and where beauty lives not in grand monuments, but in everyday life. Number 7. Orta San Giulio, Piedmont. Nestled beside the mirror-like Lake Orta, this northern gem is one of Italy's most poetic secrets. Surrounded by mountains and reflected light, Orta San Giulio feels like a dream just on the edge of water. The town's cobblestone paths lead to a tiny island in the center of the lake, Isola San Giulio, where a centuries-old monastery still stands in peaceful silence. Despite its storybook looks, Orta remains surprisingly quiet, even in summer. Homes near the lake start around 300,000 euros, while smaller apartments in the hills can be found for under 200,000 euros. Rent averages 900 euros a month, and the cost of living, though higher than the south, still feels reasonable compared to northern Italy's big cities. What sets Orta apart is its balance, breathtaking beauty with everyday simplicity. Mornings here begin with fog over the lake, afternoons with espresso under the arcades, and evenings with music drifting across the water. It's not just beautiful, it's spiritual. A town that makes you forget the noise of the world. Number 6. Spello, Umbria. In the rolling hills of Umbria, where olive trees shimmer silver beneath the sun, lies Spello. A town so beautiful it feels like it was designed for slow living. Built entirely from pink-hued stone that glows at sunset, Spello is a masterpiece of medieval architecture and calm Italian charm. Every window bursts with flowers. Every street curves like it's leading you deeper into a dream. It's often overshadowed by nearby Assisi, but that's what makes it perfect. Fewer tourists, more authenticity. Life here feels timeless. Quiet mornings, friendly nods from shopkeepers, and evenings that drift into long dinners under open skies. Spello is surprisingly affordable for a town that looks like a Renaissance painting. Small apartments rent for around 700 to 900 euros per month, and renovated stone homes start near 220,000 euros. A couple can live comfortably on 1,600 euros to 1,900 euros a month, surrounded by good wine, warm people, and views that never get old. There's an ease to Spello that's hard to describe, the kind of peace that doesn't feel empty but full. It's a town where time doesn't just pass, it lingers. Number 5. Castellarquato, Emilia-Romagna. Perched on a hilltop in northern Italy, Castellarquato looks like something out of a medieval film set. Stone towers, winding lanes, and views that stretch endlessly over vineyards. The town's castle, built in the 1300s, still watches over the valley below, its bells marking time the same way they have for centuries. Despite its cinematic look, Castellarquato remains largely unknown outside Italy. You won't find crowds or tour buses, just locals, artists, and a few travelers who happen to take the right-wrong turn. Houses here are more affordable than they look. You can buy a rustic home for around 180,000 euros, or rent a cozy apartment for 800 euros a month. The cost of living averages 1,500 to 1,700 euros monthly, including everything from groceries to weekend meals out. The rhythm of life here is steady and kind. Locals gather for wine tastings, festivals, and market days that still feel like family gatherings. In autumn, the scent of grapes fills the air, and in spring, the hills bloom with wildflowers. It's the kind of place that makes you wonder why you ever needed anything more than this. A quiet town, good food, and a view that feels eternal. Number 4, Montefiorel, Tuscany. Hidden among the vineyards of Chianti, Montefiorel might just be the most perfect village in Tuscany. And somehow, most people still don't know it exists. It's small, circular, and wrapped in stone walls built nearly 1,000 years ago. When you step through its arched gate, it feels like time folds in on itself. No cars, no rush, just the sound of footsteps and birds. Montefiorale is surrounded by olive groves and vineyards that produce some of Italy's most famous wines. Yet, it remains humble. Only a few dozen families live here full-time, and they keep life beautifully simple. A stone house here starts around 250,000 euros, while nearby Greve in Chianti offers rentals between 900 and 1,100 euros per month. A couple can live comfortably on about 2,000 euros monthly, enjoying a lifestyle built around nature, food, and friendship. In Montefiorale, everything slows down. You taste the seasons in the olive oil, hear the history in the wind, and realize that beauty doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be real. Number 3. Tropea, Calabria. On the southern edge of Italy's boot, where turquoise water crashes against rugged cliffs, Tropea rises like a vision. Known as the Jewel of Calabria, this seaside town is so striking that first-time visitors often stop speaking mid-sentence. Golden stone buildings perch above the Tyrrhenian Sea, their balconies overflowing with flowers, while the white sands below stretch endlessly in both directions. But Tropea isn't just about looks, it's about life. Despite its cinematic beauty, this town remains refreshingly down to earth. The historic center is full of small trattorias, family-owned shops, and open-air markets selling figs, red onions, and handmade pasta. You can walk everywhere, from the beach to the cliffside church of Santa Maria dell'Isola, and feel like you've stepped into a postcard that somehow stayed real. What surprises most people is the cost. A one-bedroom apartment rents for around 700 euros per month, and homes with sea views start at about 220,000 euros. A couple can live here comfortably on 1,600 euros to 1,800 euros a month, including dining out, fresh seafood, and weekend travel. The weather is warm most of the year, healthcare access is solid, and life here moves at a rhythm you can actually keep up with. Tropea is the kind of place that slows you down, not because it's sleepy, but because it reminds you to enjoy things, to eat slowly, to watch sunsets without rushing away, to live beautifully one day at a time. Number 2. Brisighella, Emilia-Romagna. Some towns seem designed for painters, and Brisighella is one of them. Nestled between green hills and ancient cliffs, this village looks like it was built by imagination itself. 3 stone peaks rise above it, each crowned with something remarkable: a medieval tower, a fortress, and a sanctuary. From the top, you can see vineyards, olive trees, and the faint shimmer of the Adriatic in the distance. Brisighella has kept its old-world soul intact. You'll still find cobbled streets lit by lanterns, hidden archways, and houses painted in soft shades of peach and terracotta. It's the kind of place where you can wander aimlessly and always find beauty around the next corner. It's also incredibly affordable. A charming stone home here costs around 160,000 euros, and a rental averages 700 to 850 euros per month. Monthly expenses rarely exceed 1,500 euros for a couple, even when living comfortably. The town's olive oil is considered some of the best in Italy, and the food, rustic, simple, and deeply flavorful, reminds you why this country is known for turning everyday ingredients into art. Life in Brisighella feels cinematic, but not curated. Locals gather in the piazza every evening, children play until sunset, and time, as it often does in Italy, stretches in the best possible way. It's a place that reminds you beauty doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it just needs to breathe. Number 1. Matera, Basilicata. Few places on Earth feel as ancient, or as mesmerizing, as Matera. Carved directly into the rock, this city of caves rises like a fossilized dream from the cliffs of southern Italy. Once one of the poorest regions in the country, Matera has transformed into a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Europe's most extraordinary towns. Still affordable, still authentic, and utterly unlike anywhere else. Homes here, known as sassi, are built from limestone caves, restored into stunning dwellings that blend modern comfort with prehistoric wonder. You can rent one for 900 to 1,100 euros per month, or buy a renovated home for around 250,000 euros. The cost of living remains moderate, with couples spending roughly 1,700 to 2,000 euros monthly. A small price to pay for waking up inside a piece of history. Matera glows differently at night. When the lights come on, the cliffs look like gold, thousands of windows flickering in the stone. It feels alive, timeless, and spiritual. It's not just a town, it's an experience, one that changes you quietly. Living here isn't about convenience, it's about connection. To the past, to the land, and to the slow rhythm of life that Italy still holds sacred. Italy has always been called beautiful, but beauty here is not a show. It's something lived, breathed, and felt in the quiet corners of everyday life. You see it in the way sunlight hits a stone wall at dusk, in the scent of fresh bread spilling out from a village bakery, in the sound of church bells echoing through a valley that hasn't changed in centuries. These towns remind you that Italy's magic doesn't live only in Rome or Florence or Venice. It's in the smaller places, the ones people drive past without noticing. The hilltop villages, the seaside towns, the cobbled streets where time slows down just enough for you to feel it again. From the clifftop silence of Civita di Bagnoregio to the cave dwellings of Matera, every town on this list carries its own kind of poetry. Some are painted in sunlight, others carved in stone. But all of them share one truth. They're not just beautiful, they're real. Here, beauty doesn't rush, it lingers. People still take time to talk, to cook, to live. The wine is local, the neighbors know your name, and every evening feels like an invitation to sit outside and just exist. In a world obsessed with speed, Italy stands still, gracefully, deliberately, and without apology. And maybe that's why these hidden towns feel so special. They remind you that life isn't meant to be escaped, it's meant to be savored. So if you've ever dreamed of a simpler, richer, and slower way of living, look beyond the famous cities, because somewhere between the vineyards, the mountains, and the sea, there's a small Italian town waiting for you. And once you find it, you may never want to leave.